Looks like it's time, so let's go. I'm just marking some molds that I just pulled out. And a D8. So, ooh, that does not look like an 8. I mean, I guess it looks more like an 8 than anything else, but okay. It'll all wear off at some point anyways. It's not a huge deal, but it's still useful to me to mark them all. Let me just toss out this tape. Alright, so I'm thinking maybe we'll try out these new molds tonight. I have kind of an idea for, maybe kind of a simple set of dice. We'll see how it goes. I do also have a couple of commissions to work on. Hey, hello. How are you doing, Beta? Just a second, my hands are cold. I have warm tea and cold fingers. Hello, Bosun. So, the plan for tonight, I have a set of fate dice that I'm going to be working on. And they are going to be purple and gold, and then they're going to have purple iridescent flakes and some holographic stars in them, and I'm thinking maybe a little bit of finer holo glitter too. I feel like that'd match well. So there's those. We're going to redo the bee die. The bee floated a lot. See if I can get it so you can see. There you go. You can see it kind of floated to the top there a lot. So I'm going to do this in 2 pours. I'm going to do the bee. I'm going to put the bee in it, and I'm going to, fill it up about halfway with resin so that the bee will float to the top, and then let that cure, and then I'll pour the next layer of resin, so it'll end up in the middle. So you're doing well. Tweak some writing you're doing for the little lore blurb thing. You found a hack for writing lore? What's your hack? That sounds useful. And then actually like I said, so this plan for this set is I want to do kind of like a coffee set, I think, or maybe tea. I have an idea for doing kind of a, maybe like a clear brown and then doing like a white into it. I want to try doing kind of like I did with, let me find a good example here. Like one of these where I kind of injected, I'll see if I can get it to show up. Come on. Let's find it. There you go. Kind of injected the white in there. And I want to kind of try doing that. Here's one where I kind of did it a little bit further almost. Let's see if I can get it so you can see this. Oops. There we go. You can kind of see that white in there. And I totally just moved this. There we go. And I kind of want to try doing that with like a brown and then like a white in it for kind of like a coffee or tea. Oh, I saw your tweet about that actually. Read it in your mind in the Griffin McElroy DM monologue voice, and if it sounds good, then it's good lore. And then the last thing that I want to work on is redoing some of these. If these look familiar to you, Beta, it's because they're yours. And I made some notes here about what we want to switch up. And so we're gonna try redoing these tonight too. And I have plans for that. Let me grab the molds for that actually. D6 down. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, to be fair. I really don't spend a lot of time on Twitter. Why are you vague posting about me? Is that something I should be concerned about? D6 down. Actually, all these are D6 downs. Did you forget the idea, or did you just forget to message me? Because I'm always down for ideas. Okay, and then a couple of plans for the D8s. This D8, it's not, you know, what we were going for. I may have to keep this one for myself. It turned out so perfect, I didn't even have to sand anything on it. Oh, this side must have been up. But it's like, let's see if I can get it so you can see. It turned out looking like marble. Ooh, it's a little glare, but it kind of ended up looking all marbly. It's hard with the glare. Let's see if I can get a good side to show you. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. It's not mirrored on my screen, which makes things very confusing. There we go. It never wants to focus on what I want it to focus on, but it's very like marbly. Oh, thank you, Pass. So yeah, we want that one to be a little bit. Sorry, my fingers are still cold. We want that one to be a little bit darker, but let's see, I need a D8. I'm gonna do a D8 up, and then this one we also kind of want a little bit darker, and I want a D8 down for that one because this one has inclusions, and if they're gonna fall, I want them to fall to the higher number. All right. So we've got our things. Pink and blue swirly fate set. I posted a while ago. Yep. That color, but one color a lighter opaque blue with glow powder, and the other translucent darker blue with a ton of iridescent flakes in there. Lighter opaque. I mean, that'd be easy to do. It was just kind of two colors kind of mixed together. Yeah, that'd be easy enough to do. I wonder how well well, just a second. I have a set in the tumbler right now. Let me see. Let me show you. Let me show you this set. This is a commission set. That's a D20. This is a set that I did fairly recently on stream. But I have, see that? I have that light blue, and then there's the darker blue with all the glitter in it, and then there's the lighter blue. I feel like that's kind of similar to what you're, if it'll find the correct colors, it's kind of similar to what you're talking about. Put this one back in the tumbler. But that for the blue fire die. So do you want the whole? I'll have to figure that out and message you. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'd have to figure that out. Kind of similar, probably a little lighter clear. So do you want the fire dye to not have any clear at all and just be a swirl of like a lighter blue or an opaque lighter blue and a darker translucent blue? No clear at all? And then and let's see, blue more yeah, because the notes I have are blue more translucent, more iridescent flakes, mica, and silver foil in the middle to try and give it kind of like a reflective look. Give it so it like light bounces off of it in the middle a little bit. But I have plans for, I have little notes to myself on revisions for these. And I actually wrote them down so that I would remember. Okay. Dark blue would be pretty clear, though, so the foils and stuff show up. Yeah, we can absolutely do a very clear dark blue. And then I'd probably do, and then you want like a slightly lighter blue. So we'll do, oops, my blues are sticking together. We'll do royal blue. It's a nice dark, but like blue. So we're gonna grab that. And then we'll probably mix one with a little bit of white, and that will make it opaque. This one works the best for turning things opaque. All right, that seems like a plan. And then we'll have iridescent flakes, and what was the other things? A little bit of mica maybe, and we were talking a little bit of silver foil in the middle, just so that the light will catch on it a little bit. We start putting things together. So there's kind of the things for that. Look up a little bit of the blue mica that I used before. This one's a nice blue. Will match well with that other blue. The 3 ideas you've thrown at me for that one, it's a lot. We can definitely do though kind of a dark translucent blue with our different kind of inclusions in it, and then like a light opaque blue. That's easier to do actually. That would actually be a lot more difficult if you wanted a. No, actually, no, that's fair. That works out. It just works out. That works out just fine. The one with the ink swirl in it. Well, here, let me show it to you. Let me show you the colors in there. See the blues. Did I use all blue in this one? Oh no, they're not actually all blue. It's just the reflection. Some of them actually, see, like this one, that's black, but it almost looks blue because of the holographicness of it. I don't know, I kind of like the blue. I almost think go with all blue on this one maybe. But we could definitely do, oh, there's 2 black and 3 blue it looks like. Because we were talking about whether we should do just all black butterflies instead of also having some blue ones in there. Like I said, the blue ones actually grew on me, but like the mix of the black and the blue. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. You can kind of see how big the ink swirl and everything is there. And we were going to try and go for a similar thing, but kind of a smaller swirl of ink in there. That's my notes for this one. Keep it mixed. We got a moment to decide on that. Let me grab my butterflies though. We've got blue and black there. We can decide, and our gold foil, and our black ink. I hear Fitz out there. Let's see, this one, make white less opaque or more gunmetal gray. I might do both almost. So I might add a little bit of this. Oh, if I can grab it. I can't grab my thing. I have a gunmetal gray kind of mica. So we might just add a little bit of that to the white base and see if that'll both darken it up a little bit and make it a little bit more gray. That's kind of my thought there. Otherwise, I think we'll do it pretty much the same way we did it last time. Because if the base is a little bit darker, it'll make this a little bit darker. Fitz is outside the door, being unhappy that I'm in here and he's not. This one's just, oh, that one we need a little bit of gold mica. This one, we're going to add a little bit of a gold shimmer to it and make the gold flakes a little bit smaller. The only thing we really need to add here is that. Because we've already got the black out, we've already got the white out. This one's going to be a little bit different. And baby squeaks for attention. Yeah, he's out there. I can hear exactly what he's doing. He's out there on top of the like laundry hamper, just like shouting at me. Okay, this one. Part of I think the problem that made it so that we can't see the butterflies is the white alcohol ink, because it kind of got underneath it and it's fairly opaque. But we kind of wanted to make the white gunmetal on this anyways, and I think maybe we're just going to take the white alcohol ink out of the equation and instead add some of this gunmetal, like we added the little bit of gold in here. There's a little bit, you can see a little bit of gold that kind of swirled in there as well. It'll have a slightly different swirl effect. But it will definitely not have as much of the white to it. We want that one to be a little bit darker as well. Or at least a little bit more, not as black and white, a little bit more in that in-between. What's the word I'm looking for? Contrasted? It's not quite as contrasted between the really dark and the really light. So we're gonna, like I said, we're going to do that with the gunmetal gray as well. And then I already mentioned this set here, which is going to have purple, gold, and... Oh, and actually, which gold did I use for this one? I used this one. And you pull that out, actually, that's this gold. Yeah, that's the gold that's actually this right here that looks white and then shimmers gold because it has that nice dark background. It has the kind of ghostly gold to it, or if you're looking at it from the side you can't really see it, and then it shimmers gold. I like that gold. But this set here, purple, gold, all the fixins. And I was gonna pull out my color chips here. Just a second, this might be loud. Okay. And I figure we're gonna be doing a translucent purple. Just because the gold is gonna end up being opaque. Just because I'm going to be using mica powders and they kind of end up opaque. And so that means that all of this stuff's going to end up in the purple, which is fine. But I do want to figure out which gold to use. I mean, I do have, you know, certain golds that I use a lot. But let's see. Let's see which gold we want. We do also have that dark gold, but I don't think we're going to use that one. Alright, and this is the kind of gunmetal gray, by the way. This is that silver. Kind of a dark silver. I really like this one. This is just a side note, because I was thinking about that one. I like this dark gold color too, and I've always been kind of meh about it, but after like using it in a couple of things where I had some like darker browns and stuff, like it really looked nice because it didn't like look too out of place, but also it gave that kind of nice golden shimmer. But I don't think that's what we want for this. No, we're going for bright and colorful. Really not the white one. Okay, let's see what we got here. Kind of like that one. I don't think this one. I don't think that one. Here's the purple we're gonna have. This one's kind of fun. It's not quite as glittery. It's more of like, if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you the comparison of like what I would call glittery and what I would just kind of call, I don't know, golden, I guess. If I show you, it really doesn't like the color, but you can see the like particles in the like glittery one. It really does not like. But, and then the other one, this one I would call kind of glittery. It has all those little particles. It does not like the color. But hopefully you can still see the effect. Yeah, you can see the kind of the particles there versus just the gold kind of shine to it. And there's, you know, there's a kind of a range here of how glittery they are. Because this one's like, it's not glittery at all. These two are mostly glittery. And these are kind of in between. These two are probably the ones that I use the most. Oh, no, not that one. Oh, this is actually one of the ones that I use the most. But I'm not really feeling this one. This one's almost too orange, I think. I'm thinking maybe this one. It's got a little bit of sparkle. Or this one, maybe. That one's not bad, but it's a little bit darker, and we went kind of bright. I think this one. I think this is a good kind of in-between where it has a little bit of the like sparkle to it, but it also has the golden shine. It's hard to describe what I mean, but it's kind of in between there. And I do like the sparkle. But I think this one will give more of a gold sort of vibe to it. Also, I just think it matches the purple well. It's not like too warm, too cool like some of them are. It's kind of in the middle, which I think works out well. We've got all of our materials. This, let me just, that would be this one. That one, and then we need our purple glint. That's a good word. Hi, Jen. How are you doing? All right, so we've got our supplies out for that. The B D20. Let's find a good B for this one. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing this in 2 parts because this one floated. This one, it decided it wanted to float all the way to the top. So we're gonna add a B to the resin and only fill it up halfway so that it will float. And then I will pour a second layer of clear later so that it'll end up in the middle. And that's the idea anyways. If that doesn't work out well, I have some other plans, some other ideas too, but hopefully that will work. So let's find a good bee. Out of our Tupperware container of bees that smell like fish food for some reason. If anyone doesn't like dead bugs, look away now, because I have a whole container here of dead bees. Alright, let's see what we've got. I want to find one that, you know, has all the pieces. You know, has the legs, has the wings. This one looks pretty good. I think this one even has its little tongue sticking out. Proboscis? I think this one will be good. The little bee. Bee right there. Be vibing and craving hot dogs. Don't think I could relate with that one. I'm not a hot dogs person. I like sausages with like eggs, but I'm not really a hot dogs person. Never have been. Alright. There's the bee for that. And then she died making a silly little face. I'm gonna do that. I was like, I died making a silly little face? I feel like I should be concerned. Is that a threat? But no, you mean the bee. That makes more sense. Alright. And then for these, like I said, I want to make kind of a like coffee sort of dye. And so my plans was to do like a brown, like a translucent brown with like white kind of swirled in. Like an opaque white. And I'm doing, these are the ones that I just pulled out, my nice new molds that are all clean. But I'm doing it with the highest number on the top because I'm going to add the white from the top. And so I want it to look like it's like the creamer. Although the creamer quite often sinks to the bottom, doesn't it? Maybe I just want to do like a Petri or something with white on. I don't know. Now I'm rethinking. Because like when I make tea and I add cream to it, quite often the cream like all sinks to the bottom and then kind of like comes back up. Because my original thought was to do the brown and then to put the like white in there. And then have the white on top. Now I'm rethinking that. One way or another though, to get that brown, I don't really have like a brown alcohol ink. unless you count my purple, which quite often looks brown. So I'm going to do kind of what I did for a set of bee dice that I did. I think I might have one of those in here. Yeah, this one. If you look at this one, it's definitely kind of a brownish color. And the way that I achieved the brown was mixing some complementary colors. I feel like a good start is the orange. And then add a little tiny bit of this purple. That's kind of how I got my honey color before. I used the orange and then I kind of toned it down a little bit with purple. Although, to be fair, the opposite of orange is blue. Could try doing it with a little bit of blue and go to a little bit more brown than I did with that. Then the thing with this was that it kind of made the red highlighted, since both orange and purple have red in it. You know, it kind of left that red color even though it toned down the orange. Whereas if I went with blue, it would make it like much cooler toned. I think I kind of want to do, oops, I don't want to put that there. I think I'm going to try doing orange and blue. Orange with a little tiny bit of blue. Because that's kind of what brown is. Brown is kind of like a darkened orange almost. I think a little bit of blue might be good. I could also try black. But if we tone down the orange a little bit with some blue, it'll make it darker and also more brown, more muted. So we're going to try doing that. And then for the white, I'm going to do like a white alcohol ink and then some just kind of a shimmery white. A little bit of that. Alright, let me make sure I have everything. I think that's everything. The only things that I really need to do before getting everything into their little cups is, like last time, I need to coat a couple of things in UV resin, just because they're going to be stuck to the outsides of the molds. So I pull out my handy dandy silicone mat and grab my UV resin. So I've got a couple of dice here that we're going to be making, like this set here where it has like a big piece of glitter that's kind of on the side. And to do that, I want to stick them to the sides of the molds so that they don't sink, because normally they'd sink. But I don't want to stick them straight to the sides of the molds, because if I need to sand them, then, you know, I might sand off part of that piece of glitter. I don't want that. Move that over. So I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of UV resin on the outside of them so that if the side gets sanded, it'll just sand the UV resin. Oh, come on. What is that called? There we go. It'll just sand the UV resin and not sand the piece of glitter itself. And what we're going to be doing is some butterflies. Not sure if we're going to be doing blue ones or just black ones. And then also a few silver stars. So we're going to add a few silver stars to this set of fate dice, or fudge dice, whichever you want to call them. Let me grab, what am I missing here? Oh, I know what I was thinking. Let me clean off my workspace here a little bit with a piece of tape. Just so we have a nice clear spot to set these down so I'm not getting, you know, cat hair or anything in there. All right. You're still working on cheese telepathy, is that what's going on? Gotta get that down first. Where are my tweezers? Oh, right here. Cheese! I want to preface this with I love cheese now, but I really did not like cheese as a kid. Don't know why exactly. I just didn't. Right. So this is going to be 4 6-sided dice. So I'd say each set needs at least 3 stars, right? Or each die needs at least 3 stars. Should we do some little hexagons too, or just stars? Maybe just stars. I should probably get some actual just holographic star glitter instead of these mixed sets. I do also have like, is it gold? I have gold holographic star glitter as well. Or does black have stars? I also have black holographic star glitter. I should use this for something, it's fun. Yeah, those are the ones that I have star glitter in. Okay. Alright, so I'm saying at least 3 per die, so that's going to be 12, but I think I'll do a couple more than that. A couple of them should have, you know, a couple. I don't want them all to be exactly the same or anything. You know, I want it to look a little bit random. And again, you know, it takes more work to make things look random, which is the irony of the whole thing. 2, 3. Oops, it's trying to escape. Come back. While I'm doing this though, have we decided, Beta, on if we want to do black and blue or just black? Let me spread this out a little bit more. I don't want to stick these together. There's 3 each. Let's do a couple more than that. You're just going to shout one-word statements. Those dice on the table look great. Which dice? What dice? These ones? Oh, we're re-pouring some things. I can't say that I'm upset with how these turned out, but they're not exactly what we were going for necessarily. So I'm gonna do some slight tweaks on these. And all right, put these back. If I can get them off of my hand. All right, there we go. Mixed, do you think? All right, sounds like a plan. So we're going to do those stars for that one set, and then the set that I was just showing off, we're going to do some butterflies. And so we have a D6 here and a D8 that are both going to have butterflies. The D8's just going to have black butterflies, and the D6 is going to have a mix of blue and black holographic butterflies. Oh, perhaps I should show you, Beta. I don't think this is going to change anything. But I do have glow-in-the-dark butterflies now, too, courtesy of Jen, in various colors. I have all of the butterfly glitters now. Ah, I'm gonna throw these back in here. So you know those are a thing. You guys are gonna have vaguely matching dice with your butterfly, well, moth, I suppose in your case, theme. Alright, let's see here. This one's gonna need not necessarily one on every side. Probably about 5 of them, I think. You know, you want it to look kind of, again, you want it to look random, so you have to place them carefully. Alright, so there's 5. That should be good for that one. And then this one, I'll probably do again, like 3 blue and 2 black. I feel like that was a good kind of combination. And then grab a couple of black ones. And I'll do one spare one as well in the black. singular glowy butterfly and the fire one. We could do that. Probably a blue one. Probably one of the blue ones here. And then dark blue. I'm going to do like 3 dark blue ones, I think. Just enough to make it look like it is purposeful, that there is both colors in there. And then one glow in the dark blue butterfly, and I think this one would be fine, but let's coat that in a little bit of UV resin as well, just in case. Alright. So, just need a little tiny bit on all of these. You can barely see the little dots there. Just need a little tiny bit of UV resin on all of these. I just want to protect the outer, you know, shiny part of them. So let's, I'm just going to try to add the smallest dot possible. If it doesn't stick, oh dear. Just a moment, I have to get a star out of my UV resin there. Alright, there we go. Stay there. Okay. This is why I want to make sure that they're stuck down to my silicone mat. Not stuck to my finger. Let go. Yeah, anyways, I'm just making sure that these are all kind of stuck down a little bit. Like, they don't really stick to the silicone, but they kind of cling to the silicone, I guess. Sounds weird. Like me saying it's clingy but not sticky, but I guess that kind of makes sense. But I definitely want it to cling while I'm putting a little bit of UV resin on top of them. Because I don't want it to do that and stick to my UV resin bottle. Alright, I just did the stars, but I'm going to grab my handy dandy UV resin tools, which is a couple of pins, and remove some of the stuff around, because some of them, ended up with a little bit too much. Oops, there's a piece of cat hair there, which is normal. A little bit too much. I'm gonna, add it to some ones that didn't have quite as much. And that sort of stuff. I'm gonna start moving some of this over to like the butterflies here. The ones that had a whole bunch of UV resin. I just want to try and get everything coated a little bit. And I don't want too much extra resin on these either, because that could show up or get in the way, or it might just not rest correctly on the side. If it has way too much. I just want enough to kind of protect the glitter. My butterflies don't want to stay down. Alright. Got some of our resin moved around. Let me go back to my little bottle of UV resin. We're going to add some more to these butterflies over here that haven't gotten any yet. Let go. Okay. And again, I'm just going to try and even this out a little bit. Like, one of these here didn't get any on one half of it. The little butterfly's only one wing's covered. Let's get everything kind of evenly coated. So I want to make sure that everything is covered, but not covered too much. We want everything to be protected. Alright. So what has everybody been up to this week? What have I been up to this week? I have to look at my calendar. I have a terrible memory. I have to look back and be like, oh yeah, I got that stuff done. I guess I've got my last shop update was this last Friday. Got some new things in the shop. I'm planning for, you know, next restock already. I've got a whole bunch of things sanded, which is nice. I have actually now I guess I kind of did before, but I have a good, like, backlog. Okay, have fun! Have fun playing games. And thanks! I hope they come out as well. What I was saying though. Oh, I have a whole bunch of sets of dice sanded that are waiting to go into the tumbler to polish, which is kind of nice. So I'm in the middle of polishing a couple sets of commission. Ooh, a couple sets of like commission dice, and like a set of just regular dice. But I have a whole bunch of sets of regular dice to polish. I'm really bad at, I don't know if I'm bad at it, but it takes me a lot of time and energy to schedule things. All right, we're gonna run this a second time because usually it takes about 2 to nuke these. It takes me a lot of like, I have to like write everything down to try and schedule things because I'm really bad at putting things in like the correct order if I don't have it written down because I can't think about multiple steps at the same time. So I gotta write them down so that I know what all the steps are. I can think about them individually, but it's hard to put them in the right order if I don't have, if I have to think about what the steps are and then also the order that they're in, it's very difficult. So if I have them all written down, then I have what all the steps are and then I can put them in order. But I have so many commissions. That's the like big thing with commissions. Like commissions are really fun to work on. Like I enjoy working on them. They're definitely like a lot more work than just making dice. Just because there's a lot of, you know, back and forth and trying to get things a certain way. Whereas if I'm just making dice, even if they don't necessarily turn out how I'm hoping that they do, you know, I still have a set of dice made. Which, to be fair, it works with commissions that way too, to a certain extent. Which, even if they don't turn out the way I want, you know, I have a set of dice made. But in that case, if they don't turn out quite how we're hoping for, I do have to remake them, which isn't always the case with regular sets of dice. But the big thing, the big like brain sink, I don't know what to call it. The thing that takes a lot of my energy is just scheduling commissions and trying to keep track of everything. That's the other thing with commissions is that there's a deadline. When I'm just making dice, there is sort of a deadline in that, you know, I gotta get things made before the restock once a month. But if I don't finish a particular set of dice before then, it's not a big deal. Whereas with commissions, you know, I have someone waiting for something specific. So that, you know, there's a lot more pressure there to a certain extent. But what was I saying? Oh, the scheduling though. The scheduling is what gets me. That's part of the reason that when I was just starting out, and I still have it set up, sort of. I had it set up so that, you know, I only have like 5 commissions going at once. And it's kind of, it's honestly so that I can keep track of them all. Because, man, it just takes a lot of organization to keep track of them all. I say that, I also have 10 commissions going at the moment. I didn't think about it when I did it, but I have my, you know, 7-piece D&D dice set commissions, and those are the ones that I have 5 slots open at a time. But I didn't think about it when I added them, but now I've also added 5 slots for D6 sets, and 5 slots for fate dice and fate/fudge dice sets, which means that, and then, I mean, I also have commissions for like trays and stuff too, but I haven't actually sold any of those. But that means that, you know, I could have up to like 15 commissions going at a time instead of 5. It's just like, oh no, why did I do this to myself? But it's working out fine. I think I'm a little bit more worried about it than I need to be, which is probably a good thing. Like, I was definitely earlier today, I was just staring at, I have a Word document that has all of the commissions that people have ordered in it. It's literally just a Word document, and it has like first name, where I have, or username or whatever, what media platform, so either Etsy Messenger or Tumblr or wherever they've messaged me from, with, like I said, their first name or their username. And then, like, I have initial info, which is, like, any reference photos that have been sent to me, or any, like, details that we've discussed for what they want, and I'll put that all in there. And so I have a record of what I need to work on. And so I was definitely earlier today, I was just looking at that Word document, going like, and I don't know if it's a little bit OCD or what, because I was probably like 3 times, I just went through and went, okay, I'm working on that, I'm waiting for stuff for this one's scheduled, okay, everything is scheduled or everything is being worked on. I did that probably like 3 times, triple checking that everything was ready to go. I'm out of tea. That's unfortunate. Oh well. But, this is why I have a planner. Man, I don't know what I would do without a planner, without a calendar at this point. Like, even with a calendar, like, I obviously get so anxious just having to have scheduled multiple things. It's just, I don't know, the calendar makes it so much easier. I'm just trimming some of these down a little bit because they have little pieces. And then I'm going to set these over here with the pieces that they need to, the molds that they're going to be going into. If it'll get off of my tweezers. I feel like my Twitch stream should just be a weekly look into Liz's head. Kind of seems like it at this point. Alright. And we're going to be putting all of these into the mold. We're going to be kind of attaching them to the sides so that they don't sink to the bottom. Because that's the problem with the big chunky glitter like this, is that it likes to try and sink to the bottom. Alright, let me trim this one down a little bit. And like I said, I want to keep the resin kind of close to the piece of glitter so that it doesn't, like, show up or get in the way or anything. There's all the stars, and then we're going to put the butterflies. Should be all done with this. And put the UV resin away. I don't think there's anything else that we'll need UV resin for, so I'm going to put this away. Alright. We've got our butterflies here too. A little glow-in-the-dark blue butterfly that's going to go with our blue fire over here. I feel like it'd be best if it was kind of in the middle somehow, but I think it's, with the way that we're doing the fire one, it might end up on like the 6th face or something. We'll see there. But let's put these where they need to go. Blue ones are going here. That's a black one. Here's a blue one. With the holographicness of it, when it's at an angle, it's really hard to tell which one is which between the blue and the black. Alright. And I think we're gonna do like 2 black. I like how many butterflies were on this one. I felt like the kind of sparseness almost, you can see the reflection there. There's kind of one on each face, except for this face. I feel like they're angled in such a way that they look kind of evenly spread out, which is nice. So we're going to go for a similar thing there. And so that was, 3 blue butterflies and 2 black ones, I think. Yep. And then, oops, the rest of the black ones over here with the D8. Alright. I'll put this away for now. Alright, let's start getting everything into their little... Actually, we're gonna put all of those little things into the molds now before I start putting everything into the little cups. We'll get this out of the way. There's always cat hair. Always cat hair. I did have a cat in here, not earlier today. I think was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And it was fine because she did nothing but sleep on my lap the whole time. Not as like the only cat that I allow in here sometimes, and only when like there's nothing she can get into and like it's not gonna cause me any problems, I guess. So she was just laying on my lap yesterday. Was that while I was sanding things? I'm trying to remember. Alright, I'm trying to kind of spread these stars out a little bit so that they kind of look a little random. I'm not doing too many of the stars. You know, we're just going to have a few. I'm going to add a little bit of the holographic glitter to the resin itself. We're going to have, you know, iridescent foil, iridescent flakes in there. There's going to be enough kind of other things going on that it should look busy enough without it. But let's get at least 3 stars in each one, and then we'll go back and add a few more, a couple of them. And I'm wondering if I can get one of these to stick to the cap. We'll see. Alright, there's 3 in each one. Let's see what we can do with these last 3. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can get, you know, maybe one of these to stick to the cap. I don't know how well it'll work. Let's see here. I'm going to do it this way so that I can figure out where it's going to be. Alright, so... Actually, I don't know if it's going to be too important. Let's see if I can get one maybe right in here. So that's going to go right in here. It may fall to the bottom. I'm going to... I wonder if there's one that has a little bit on like the back. Like this one looks like it has a little bit on the back, and I think it might stick a little bit better. We'll see if that causes an issue. Hopefully not. So that one has another one now. Oop. Hang in there, cat butterfly. This one's a cap star, but yeah, you can do it. We got another one here. That one has 4. That one has 3. 1, 2, 3. This one here. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. Now they all have stars in them. Let me see if I can get it so you can see. You can see the little star in there. There's some on the sides. There you go. You can see some on the sides there. And that way, hopefully they will stay suspended. And then we're going to do the same for the butterflies here. This is going to be the D6 with the blue and the black. I'm not going to try putting any of the butterflies on the cap of this one because it's going to be a little bit darker there, so it'll just kind of look like the butterflies are flying a little bit, hopefully. So I'm going to try and put kind of like one on each side, but kind of spread them out a little bit, make them look kind of random. Oops, but don't drop them all into the bottom. Put a few of them closer together, a few of them further apart. Kind of how you make them look a little bit more random. All right, now for the D8. Your evil spells can't channel hot dog. So there's no like fast food places that make hot dogs, or I guess places on like DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever that make hot dogs. I guess to be fair, there's not a lot of like hot dog places. I guess that's not as much of a thing as burger places. Wiener Schnitzel is not not ideal hot dog. Oops. Alright, we're gonna put some butterflies in here, not necessarily one on each side. Kind of spread out. If I can, again, get it off of my tweezers. There we go. They're sticking together a little bit. Alright, there's one down there. And we'll put one here. Oops. It fell. Okay. I'll put one here. Actually, I don't know. Do one more. I can kind of see a spot that like one more might be good, but if I can get it in the right spot, I want the other one actually, I think. It's kind of clinging to my... Alright. We've got one left over. Here, we'll see if we can get it to cling to the top. We'll do a little cat butterfly. There we go. Alright, all of our butterflies are stuck. So let's start putting together our little cups of our various pigments so we can get resin poured. So, this one is from last time. This was the blue mica. I think we could probably just use this again for blue. There we go. Just pull all the old resin out of here. This is always kind of satisfying when I'm cleaning up. Just, taking a pair of tweezers here and just pulling up the pieces of resin that are in the bottom of the cups. I feel like you guys don't usually see it, but there's a bit of cleanup that usually comes with making dice as well. I guess I don't really take that into account when it comes to time. I did, at one point, kind of try to measure how much I worked in a week, like time-wise. But even then, I don't know how accurate it was. Just because, I'll take breaks in the middle of working on things, go get a cup of tea, get distracted on my phone for a little bit. And at other times, it's just like, oh, I'm doing a lot more things than I think I'm doing. Because there's lots of, like, little things that I'll just, get done, like, on my days off or, anything like that. It's hard to judge. Okay. For the blue, we were talking a opaque light blue and a translucent dark blue. The translucent, okay, Beta, question here. With the blue dye, we're talking about doing 2 resin colors, the opaque light blue, the translucent dark blue. For the other stuff here that we were talking about, do you just want like some of this mixed in with the dark blue, or did you still want this stuff kind of placed towards the middle of the dye? Because that will affect how I set that up. This one's just going to be clear with a little bit of gold foil. And this one was clear. If I can get it out. Alright, this one we're going to put a little bit of gold foil in. There's actually two of our dice here are going to have gold foil in them, but they're now actually going to be slightly different. Because this one's going to have gold foil, and this one's going to have gold foil, and also a little bit of gold shimmer to it. So this one's just going to have gold foil. Probably only going to have about 5 milliliters of resin at most. So let's put a little bit of foil in here. It shouldn't take like a ridiculous amount, because it's not going to be a ton of resin. That should be plenty. Let's see. See, the iridescent can just be mixed in, but the silver should be placed so it's not close enough to the edge to actually look silver. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, hey, this is the one that I used for the white to gold. So we'll use it for that again. You can tell that I've done so much dice making since Saturday. I haven't actually done any dice making since Saturday, and that's because I made molds this week. I switch off. Just the iridescent is fine. Yeah, I can do just iridescent. We can try with just iridescent. If it doesn't work out, we can always try it again too. You get 2 repours. Alright, so just iridescent. Do you want a little bit of the blue mica as well? We can add just a little bit of that to make something shimmery, either to the light or the dark. That one had white. Alright. Add a little bit of gold foil to this one as well. This one's going to have some gold foil and then also a little bit of gold shimmer to it. It's going to kind of match Bosun's dice. A little bit of the mica. Okay. That one's going to have, this one's going to kind of match Bosun's dice. Let's see, real subtle kind, the darker. Yeah. I was thinking just something kind of subtle, just so it had a little bit of a shimmer. Okay, perfect. So we'll add the iridescent flakes and a little bit of the blue mica here to give it a little bit of a shimmer to the darker blue. Sounds like a plan. We've got our gold added, and that's going to be broken up into smaller pieces, so don't necessarily need a lot there. Is there anything else that's going to be taking gold foil? I don't think so. Nothing else is going to use gold foil, so let me set this back up. But this one is going to have a little bit of this gold shimmer. So let's add a little tiny bit of this. Find a good stir stick. Yeah, this one will work. That one's even better. And we're just adding a little tiny bit, not much at all. I'll show you. Show you how much we're adding. I literally just kind of dipped the stick in there and then dusted it off into the cup there, and that should be plenty to add that shimmer of gold. Put these butterflies away so they're out of my way. Oops, I don't run into the shelf itself. All right, got got that. I think that can go away. We've got this. Is there anything else I need that for? I'm just making sure that there's nothing else here that I need this for. Nope, nothing else I need that one for. So this one we're gonna do kind of a white-ish resin with some of the kind of gunmetal gray in it. And then this one we're gonna do kind of the same way we did this one. So that had gold ink and then also black ink in it. But it's not going to be a white base, it's going to be kind of a slightly darker base. So find stir stick here. And we are still going to use some of the white, but we're going to add, you know, a bit of this gray as well. Or we could just go, should I just go for the darker gray? Should I just go for the gunmetal, or should I still have it be kind of like a lighter silver? Well, let's go for, we'll add that, and then we can see if we want to add any white to it. So we're going to have that, and then we're going to have the black ink and the gold ink. And I'm going to leave this one out because we might need that one. We want to add a little bit more. And we have our gold ink now out as well. We've got that figured out. We've got this one. I am changing things a little bit. So this one before I had black resin, some white to gold resin, and then white alcohol ink. We're going to cut out the white alcohol ink, and instead we're going to use the gunmetal gray. So we're actually going to need 3 different cups for this, so that we can mix up all of our different colors and then put them in the same cup to pour them into the mold. This is a dirty pour, so you kind of have all your colors and then you put them all in the same cup and then pour that in. Same with this one. So we need to do some of that, some of this, and then we'll need a separate one for the black. There. Here's one that had gray in it. Actually, I think this is the one that I used for that dirty pour last time. Just kind of, that was not nearly as satisfying as I was hoping it would be. And kind of pull out giant chunks of resin here. I always feel like I see people do it and I'm just like, oh, that's so pretty, and then I always like never do it myself, where I put like foil and iridescent flakes, or foil and resin peeling ASMR, yeah, and holographic glitter, or holographic glitter and iridescent flakes in the same thing of resin. I don't know why. I think it's just, it feels like it's mixing things that are different. Crunchy. But then I did a set of dies. This is actually I'm gonna use this one for the black resin because that's what it was used for last time, I can tell. So this one's just gonna be, clear with black ink in it. I did this set fairly recently. These haven't been cleaned up yet, and I really, really like them. And it's iridescent flakes, purple like flowers, petals, and then like gold and copper foil. I'm just like, oh, I really like how the colors turned out in this. I was just like, I should do that more often. I should mix all of those different things more often. Alright. So we've got our one for our black. And then let's get ones for our gray. And our white. Perfect. Oh, this one had our white in it before. We'll do gray in here. Eats that. I mean, As delectable as it may look, I feel like that is ill-advised, but very crunchy. Alright, I'm going to do just a little bit of this white that then turns gold with either, you know, light at the correct angle or with like a dark background. Alright, we just need a little tiny bit of that, so that should be plenty. And then we're going to do the same sort of thing with this gray here. So instead of the white in here, we'll have like a gunmetal gray, and it'll be a lot more subtle. And honestly, I think that'll be nice. I think it'll make the butterflies show up quite a bit better. Because I think the alcohol ink is what got in the way. Oh, I don't need that much, I don't think. That should be plenty, I think. Really, a little bit goes a long way. A little bit of this goes a long way. You are known for making well-advised decisions. Consume polyhedron. Alright, there's our colors for that. And then we're going to move on to our purple and gold. And here's our brilliant gold. We have our purple. So let me grab... This one I think had... This one looks like it maybe had... That one had yellow in it last. So we'll do the gold. And then one will do... You're being consumed by the need for naps. Go sleep. Go sleep. I'm not going anywhere. You will engage in combat. If you're tired though, seriously. I know that it's like, I guess it's like 8 o'clock. Because we're in like the same time zone, I think. So I can see how it might be a little bit weird to go to sleep right now. Just like... One certified attack lesbian. I can see it being a little bit weird to go to sleep right now, but... Oh, work just sucked the life out of you. Valid. Valid. Okay. 2 cups here. Get out of there. There we go. Alright, so we've got our purple, which is going to be this. And we've got our gold. And our gold's going to be, you know, just gold. It's not going to have anything else in it. It's just going to be gold. You shall, but first sleep combat. Alright, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you get some good sleep. Alright. Get a little bit of gold here. And this one's going to be just gold. We want it to be, you know, mostly opaque. So we'll add quite a bit of this stuff there. And this one's going to be purple. We're not going to add this quite yet. We'll do that after we add the resin, just because it's easier to add the liquid ones after the resin. But we're going to add a little bit of the purple iridescent flakes that I have. I wish that these were better, more evenly colored. I feel like, I'll see if I can show you. Like, they don't actually, like, they're purple, but they're kind of like dyed purple, which is just a little bit weird. You can kind of see how it's like more purple on the outsides of them almost. It's just a little bit weird, but that's okay. So a set of these is around 16 milliliters, I think. I think that's about what I figured out. Instead of like 4 6-sided dice, it's about 16. So let me think about this. So we probably want about 10 of this and about 5 of that would be my guess. So we're going to want some more than this. I don't want so many that it gets difficult to sand and stuff, because if there's a whole bunch of this in here, it'll stick out of the tops and then make it difficult for me to sand them. But we want enough that we're getting some good iridescent colors in there. And we want some, I'm going to grab my shaker of holographic glitter. I Again, I have my holographic glitter for the most part over on my shelf over here. And that's because I originally got it for making soap. It's eco glitter, like body safe eco glitter, but it works well for this. We're gonna add a little bit of that, and that's gonna hopefully tie in to our holographic stars a little bit. Yeah, a little more than that. We don't really want too much, I guess. Oops, that was too much. It doesn't come out of here slowly. No, a little bit too much. We're just gonna swoop some of that back out. Well, hopefully the person that these are for likes holographic glitter. Well, we'll call that good. Alright, I'll set that off to the side for now, that's fine. And then that's gonna have the purple in it as well. So we've got our purple and our gold. Oops. All set to go. Got our holographic flakes and our iridescent foil. We've got our bee here. And again, that one's just going to be clear resin. Who doesn't like holographic glitter? I don't always want holographic glitter, to be fair. But it is always fun. I'm out of tea. Alright, so this set, I'm going to attempt to make kind of a coffee set. So I'm going to want one container. This one I think had yellow in it, so this is perfect. Where's there? That one's going to be for the white, actually. We're going to put some white in this one. And this one's going to be, I'm going to use some alcohol ink here as well to make it a little bit, more opaque. But we're also just going to add some of this white. It's kind of a, it's called macro, no, this one's micro pearl. So it's kind of a pearlescent, just white. I guess pearl, yeah, it's just kind of a pearlescent pigment. And then we're also going to add some white alcohol ink to make it more opaque. And then the other one is going to be like a brown, but we're just going to use orange and blue for this one. Ah. All right. Okay, those we've got. Oh, I still need to put these into the container for our blue. This cup might just get tossed. Once I've used them quite a bit, the bottoms get scratched enough that the resin doesn't come out, so we're just going to toss this one. And I've used that one for the blue. Alright, so we have one for a dark blue, and then we have one for a lighter, or that one will be the lighter. This is the dark blue, this will be for the light blue. And the darker blue is going to have some iridescent flakes. This is just going in 1d6. We don't need a ton. And it's only going to be half of 1d6. That will be plenty. I don't know what I'm thinking. There's really not going to be very much resin at all in half of a d6. And then we're going to have just a little tiny bit. I like this blue. It's so pretty. And it looks even slightly darker. I'm going to add just the barest amount to add a little bit of blue shimmer in there. And this again is one of my soap colorants. set that off to the side. That's going to be the dark blue, and this one's going to be the light blue. I'm going to do kind of a swirl of those together a little bit. All right, let me make sure that I have everything set up, and I'll be all set to go. Oh, one thing before we go, I want to attach some little metal pieces to this so that I can attach loops to these later. These are going to be keychains, and so I want to add these little, so makers know what's up. I'm going to add these little tiny pins that have like little flat heads to them, and we'll stick those in here and then add a little bit of resin and it'll hold them in place. Sparkly, smell good, horribly tempting to consume at times. I mean, I guess I've just continued my passion for things that people want to eat. Since it seems like everything I make people want to eat, which I suppose is a compliment. It's like, good enough to eat. I do enjoy making soap. It's been a while. I feel like I've fallen into, I think I'm enjoying the resin more than soap in certain ways, and part of it is I think just at this point I feel like I'm better at it. I've done it. Actually, I haven't really done it more. I have actually. Maybe I have done this more. No, I haven't done it more. What are dice but sharp soap? Which one have I done more? So I definitely started soap making before I started resin. So I've only, been making dice for less than a year. I've been making dice less than a year. I've worked with resin though for, a couple of years. And I made soap for a little bit before that. I'm trying to think of when I started making soap versus when I started doing resin. I started making soap before I started doing resin. It's just been very useful because I've been, able to pull over a lot of my colorants and stuff from soap over to soap making, or over to resin. Okay. Let me figure out my order here. I'm going to do the B first, because I want it to be nice and liquidy when we do that. And then I'm going to do the Petri next, because I also want it to be fairly liquidy when we do that one. B, Petri, and then what do I want to do next? I'm just thinking here. Those ones I can wait till it's a little bit thicker so that they don't mix too much. These ones I'm going to wait till it's a little bit. I'll probably do this set last. This is going to be the kind of coffee set. I'm going to try and do this set. I need a pipette, actually. Like I was saying before, I'm going to try doing that set kind of like I did this set, where I kind of piped the white. I thought I found it for a second there, and then it didn't. There we go. I found it for a second. There we go. I kind of piped the white in there. And I kind of tried doing that a little bit, which means that I do need a pipette. But we'll do that one a little bit later. That one works out fine with the resin being a little bit thicker, because then it will stay where I put it. I'm not too worried about it sinking too much or anything. That should be fine. But and then like the blue one and the purple and gold one, I think maybe we'll do those. I think we're gonna do this one. I think we're then gonna do the ink swirl. just because I think that will be easier to do when the resin's a little bit thinner to get that swirl in there. And then we're going to do our purple and gold set because we want the, no, actually, we're going to do the blue ones next because we want these colors to swirl together just a little bit. And if they mix a little bit, that will be fine. Oops. Although, do we want to try and suspend the butterfly in it? If we want to try and suspend the butterfly in it, we should do this one dead last. Or actually, I can just put the butterfly in last. So we'll do this one next, and I'll put the butterfly in like a little bit later. And that's going to be all of our blues. And then, let me move some things over. So I have everything in order. Okay, we've got these. These will actually probably be pretty close to first. Then we've got our bee. Then we've got our Petrie. And then we've got our ink swirl. Yep, our ink swirl. And then we've got our blue flame. And we'll do the butterfly. Attach the butterfly to a piece of the foil. My only concern with that is then you won't be able to see it. I could make a little support structure for it with some UV resin, and that would make sure that it would stay in the middle, but I do worry that we'd end up with like a weird line of clear resin in the middle. That's why I'm not doing that. But we can try catching it on some foil. I am going to add it last, and that should hopefully help keep it up a little bit. All right, from there we're going to go to our purple and gold, because it'll be nice if these have a little bit of a kind of a mix, but we don't want them to be so mixed that like the colors don't, you know, look good. That's going to be purple. And these ones I probably want pipettes as well, actually. Here's one for purple. And here's one for gold. And that's just so that I can add the colors gently so that they don't like mix together, because mixing gold and purple together, they look really pretty together, but they don't look good mixed together. It's not a bad idea. It makes sense. I guess I'm not sure whether it would drag the foil down with it and still sink, or if it would get like hidden by the foil, but it is a good idea. I just figured it might still be heavy enough that it would just pull the foil down with it. I don't know. I'll add it in later either way, and maybe try and catch it on a piece of the foil so that hopefully that'll help keep it up. All right, so from there, oh, and this needs to go with with that one. All right, got our purple and gold here. Okay, from there we'll do these ones, our dirty pours, with our gunmetal and gold and black, and our other colors, black and gunmetal and the gold white. Set these off to the side. I'm going to scoot these back so that they're out of my way, but we've got everything kind of in order now, which is good. Like I was saying before, I have to like write things down or have things in a visual way so that I can see the order that they need to get done in. And this D20 can get out of the way, actually. I pulled that D20 mold out earlier, so I'd remember to do the bumblebee, but I seem to have the bumblebee, so it should be fine. I'm going to put this back here so we can see which one it goes to, but it's out of the way. I just want to have everything organized before I even pour the resin. And that way I'm not scrambling later to try and get everything in the right spot, figure out what I'm doing. You know, there's a certain amount of work time that I have with the resin once it's mixed together. So there's our gold, here's our purple, got reds, and this was going to be here. And I have all my little notes written down here too, which is helpful. Gotta have things visual. I can't remember things in my brain. I gotta have them, like, be able to see them in front of me. I keep trying to grab my tea and there's nothing in there. Look at how stained my mug is from tea. Oh dear. All right, and then we have these ones over here, which I'm gonna set up here out of my way as well. And these ones we're gonna try and do kind of a brown and then also a white, and kind of pipe that in there so it looks kind of like creamer and coffee. That's the idea anyways. All right, I think that's everything. Let me just think one more thing. So this is gonna be about, we'll say 20 to, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 6. This probably 80 would be enough for this. I think 80 milliliters would be enough because this set's going to be about 30. This one is probably about 16, but let's call it 20. We'll say 16. And then I'd say this set is probably about 30 as well. 30, 60, 70, 80. So I'm thinking we'll just do 80 milliliters. Is that going to be, oh yeah, we're even only going to do half of this D20. So I think 80 milliliters will be plenty. We'll do 80 milliliters. Okay, let me get my safety equipment on. I think these gloves are dead. I did remember to order more gloves. Yeah, these gloves are dead. Look at all that color on those though. I did remember to order some more stuff, so that's good. I have more gloves and isopropyl alcohol in the way. All right, let's grab some new gloves. Oops, I feel bad with the number of gloves that I go through. It's like, oh, I'm creating so much waste. And also, I'm gonna grab my handy dandy respirator over here. So I'm gonna sound a little muffled. I'm gonna sound like, I don't know, Darth Vader or someone for the rest of this. Just so y'all know, this is what I'm gonna sound like. So, just a second, my thing's not, there we go. Now it's sitting a little bit better on there. And let me grab the mixing cup and the resin. I'm being bad again and using a clean, I'm being bad again and just pulling out a clean mixing cup instead of cleaning one of my many dirty mixing cups over here. But now I don't want to take the time to try and clean one now. I should have done that earlier if I was going to. Oh, I'm almost ready to open my new bottles. I'm running very low. I do have more, but hopefully I have enough here. This might be a little bit slow though. Let's see if I have enough. I probably should have stored this upside down. I might be kind of quiet for a minute while I attempt to pour things accurately, but that's just because I can't talk and also measure at the same time. I'll get distracted. I'll end up with resin all over the place, and no one wants that. What is going on here? Oh, weird. So slow, I just look down here. It's so viscous, it's so slow. It's slowly coming down. I'm kind of wonder, you know, I think I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to put this back up on the shelf, upside down. We're just going to open the new bottle. And I'll use that one later. So you guys can watch me open a new box of resin. Oh yeah, I don't need this for this thick. Yeah, it has 2 C's. Yeah, that thick of resin. All right, let's open our new bottles here. Got these a little bit ago because I've been kind of running low for a little while now. I was gonna say I probably should have opened this when I got it. It's a little bit messy in here. All right. I think I'm gonna end up putting the respirator back on and the gloves because it looks like it's a little sticky in here. I'll see if I can show you. Oh, I should have. I always do this backwards. I should always put the gloves on first, simply so that I can blow in them and get all the fingers out. There we go. Good enough. All right. Let's see if I can show you the box here. And I was thinking that I probably should have opened this up earlier just so that I could see. You can see that it's a little bit sticky in there. That's okay. A little bit sticky. A little bit sticky. I probably should have opened up this box when I first got these. Oh yeah, it definitely leaked. Well, that's an issue, but I'll deal with that in a bit. Well, it's my thinner one, which is actually better because I have a little bit of the thin one left. So, let me clean this off. I'm hoping it leaked from the top. And not like a hole or something. It'd be bad if there was a hole. Yeah, this stuff is so sticky. Like I said, I'm hoping that it's leaking from the top. So I had it on its side instead of having it up, which is kind of silly on my part. All right, we'll grab a new thing for. This will work fine. I just use this for resin anyways. Okay. So let's get these open up and ready to go. I'm hoping it's just shaky there. Let's maybe see if we can use up some of this first. So we're gonna now go ahead and do 40 milliliters of our first one and 40 milliliters of our second one. I wonder if the seal's broken on this one. I'll have to look into that, why that one's all sticky. Alright, let me resin is so messy. It's so messy, you guys. It just ends up everywhere. Well, it doesn't end up everywhere. It'd be bad if it ended up everywhere. This stuff isn't, the healthiest, but it's just so sticky. Ugh, my hair's all funky now. Just a moment here. There we go. Get that a little bit more comfortable there. Alright. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit quiet. Art goo. Yeah, that's accurate. I feel like a lot of art is goo. Like I said, I'm going to be a little bit quiet here while I pour this. But I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, we're very close here. And I think we are at 40. Excellent. And that is our resin. And so let's start using some of this hardener, which is our old hardener, just so we can hopefully use it up. So we're going to be doing 40 of each part. In just a moment, I'll be right back with you, but let me pour this one as well. Let's go a little bit quicker. Alright, and there's that. I'm going to hold on to this box for a moment because I'm going to set my resin, my new resin in there. I'm going to set it in there because I don't want it to get the floor all sticky or anything. Alright. Definitely no cats allowed in here now for... Oh, come on. Alright. Excellent. Let's get this all stirred up. So we've got our 80 milliliters of resin. It'll take us a minute to get this all mixed up. Look how nice and clear it is. It always gets kind of like cloudier, I've noticed. It's fine once it's stretch. I woke up this morning with a stiff neck. It was very annoying. But I've noticed though that as the resin gets older, it's like it's cloudier. When I first like pour it out, once it cures, it's fine. It's crystal clear. But it's just kind of interesting how the resin starts to look a little bit different. It also like gets in the bottles, it gets more yellow over time. But then once I mix it up and use it, it's fine. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like it noticeably looks older. But yes, if Beta has told us that we need to stretch. So if anybody's been sitting there for, 2 hours or whatever and needs to stretch, now would be a good time to do it. I'll stretch. I would stretch more, but I am on a little bit of a time crunch now. So I do need to get this all mixed up and used within a certain amount of time. I am now standing here weird. I have my leg, I don't know if you can see it, I have my leg up on the stool and my other leg on the ground. So we'll count that as my stretching. I'm just standing weird. Alright. And this does take a minute. Does take a minute to mix. I'm trying to make it so that the two parts look like there's no longer two parts, basically. I want to make sure that they are completely combined. If they're not completely combined, it, won't set up correctly. But so it looks cloudy at the moment. We want it to get back to clear with no streaks in it whatsoever. That is the goal. Let's see. What have I been up to? I've fallen kind of into a routine again at this point. Of, like I have kind of my normal stuff that I do every week. Let's see. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon, I do social media. Tuesday is my day that I do a lot of admin stuff, where I do all my scheduling and ordering of materials. Wednesday I stream on Twitch. Thursday's my day off, but it's also, the day that I usually watch Critical Role and also either Sand or Inked Dice. Is there a hair in there? There's a hair in there. There's always a cat hair in there. Alright, get out of there. So I feel like I never have anything really interesting to bring back to my Wednesday streams to tell you guys. And a little bit of a habit. I am actually we are finally kind of getting my brother and I have been kind of talking about setting up a multiplayer Minecraft server with us and some friends. And we're finally starting to get that kind of worked out, which should be fun. I've played with him and another friend, but we're both it'd be fun to play with a larger group of friends. Then we could actually do some bigger scale things, because he was talking about building a dungeon crawler or something in Minecraft, and it's that'd be fun with more people. There's certain things that games are fun with other people, I guess. I don't know, I like multiplayer games. I like having board game nights and stuff. I like playing games with other people. And there's certain things where it's I guess maybe it's because I'm somewhat competitive. I like having other people to compete against on things. There's something fun about that. Or I like working with other people to solve problems. That's also fun. I don't know. I think best bouncing ideas off of other people. So, it's I want to play this game with other people. I was talking about this last week. I'm realizing that I like Minecraft and D&D for some of the same reasons. And one of those things is just the social aspect of it. Someday you will get Java and a computer that can run more than CSP without dying. Someday. And when you do, you will know who to call to play Minecraft. But alas, you are on Bedrock. No, I got Java because my brother and a couple of other friends actually of ours have been playing since it came out. So I wanted to be able to play with them. Oh, that really is why I got Java though, so that my brother and I could play together. It's one of those games where I've seen him playing it for years. We were talking about that the other night. So he's a big video game person, and I'm not really. I don't play a lot of video games. I like watching people play video games. I like puzzle games. I like board games that I can play with other people. But he's more of a video game person. And we were talking about video games and stuff, and I was he was mentioning one game that he's I feel like our other friend that we've been playing Minecraft with. He's I feel like he would like this game. And I was oh, okay, that's fair. I mean, does seem to be the game that you keep coming back to. And he's I probably haven't put as many hours into that as I have into Minecraft. And I'm yeah, you do kind of come back to Minecraft. Fun to play on your own, but it's totally different and way better game with others. I guess there's a lot of things that would be fun to collaborate on, or either make for other people to enjoy. And I guess that's like I said, that's kind of where I like D&D too, is I like the collaboration process or creating something that other people can
enjoy in it. And I don't necessarily mean like, with D&D you're not necessarily creating like a building or something for people to enjoy, but maybe moments, you know, you just like you create a good reveal, or you know, an interesting like character thing where people are just like, oh, that's so cool. I don't know, there's something fun about that, about creating things for other people. But yes, yeah, there's definitely certain things I've been enjoying just doing on my own. I've made myself a world that's literally just uh like a flat world. And I'm pretty much what I've been doing is just putting down all of the different materials and being like, all right, these are all of the green materials. What sort of order should these go into? Like, have a nice like ombre effect of all the greens. That's the sort of stuff I do apparently. But there's a lot to do in that game. I do think it'd be fun to do with friends. But we're still getting people together, and we're still, you know, deciding what that's going to be. Depending on what we do, I might try to record some of it and put it on YouTube. I don't know. Depends on what we end up doing. And what everybody else is comfortable with, too. I'm not going to do it if someone else on the server is not comfortable with it. Because at the end of the day, it's mostly just because it'd be fun. It's something fun to do. You like to find weird terrain and make cool houses and stuff out of it. That's fair. It's fun finding weird terrain and then building in it, like kind of matching things to the surroundings. I have like some different house ideas, and it all depends on like the biomes and stuff. You love mountains and can't wait for 1.17 for that and lush caves. Oh, I know. There is a new snapshot out at the moment in Java that has some of the lush cave stuff. I'm also really interested in the like, I don't know, what is it called, like the deep dark, or they haven't even released anything of it yet. But it's where like the warden's gonna be and like the skull sensors and stuff. I'm interested in that and what sort of blocks are gonna be available there. But yes, I'm very excited about the lush caves, and I think the mountains are gonna be cool as well. It's gonna be a big update. We're talking about like putting a server together with some friends after the update too. So it'd be a while down the road. We're still just talking about it. But no, we're both very excited. Both my brother and I are very excited for that update as well. Yeah, I saw that. I saw a couple of YouTube videos showing off the mountains. Yeah, they don't have that in Java yet, but that is exciting. Got mountains. They look very cool. Very, very cool so far. It's gonna be a good update, I think. The deep dark is gonna be so scary. The aesthetic is right up your alley. Exactly. I'm here for the aesthetic of what I've seen so far. It's like, yes, give me the weird, like, yes, give me that sort of weird. It reminds me of some of the End stuff. Some of the colors and stuff. It reminds me of the End. And I like stuff like that. I like that sort of eldritch, I don't know, sort of vibe. Alright, I think this is mixed enough. It doesn't look like there's any streaks in it, and I think we're good. So, first thing I'm going to do, actually the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little tiny bit of resin on all of these to hold down these metal pins. Alright, so that's that one. Put that here. Alright, and then let's try and, oh, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. This one I'm gonna add a couple of these as well. Star. A couple stars. I forgot I was going to do this. Now, if it'll get off of my tweezers. I hear another kitty cat. Okay, cool. Got a couple stars, and then I'm going to add a hexagon as well. This is a keychain for a set of dice that I've already made, and I have some of these in there. And that will help tie things together a little bit. You've got theories about the shared color palettes. You don't care if they're made canon for Minecraft as a whole. You're making them canon on your funny little server. Someday you will make an SMP and no god nor mortal can stop you. What sort of stuff would you want to do with a SMP? Like, obviously I was just talking about making one, but I'm curious, like, what sort of stuff you would want to do. Because, like, my brother and I were talking, we're like, we'd both be cool with doing some sort of, like, RP server, but also be fun to do something where it's, you know, more, everyone kind of does their own thing, but we work together to kind of, you know, make stuff, or something where it's a mix of both, you know. I'm curious what sort of stuff you'd want to do, because there's a lot of things that I just kind of want to try doing in Minecraft. Alright, let me finish filling this one up to the top, and then we're going to do the bumblebee. Do they have SMPs in Bedrock Edition? I don't know much about Bedrock Edition. Alright, let's do our bumblebee now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bumblebee here and put it into our resin. And the reason we're doing that is we want to try and get air bubbles out. From being caught, like in the wings and everything. Let me show you. You'll be able to see right away there's air that just gets kind of caught right next to the bee. You can see that big air bubble there. And that's what we're trying to prevent. Let's see. You want something modded. Origin looks fun, definitely RP to some degree, and build focus more along the lines of Hermitcraft as far as cooperation, but Dream SMP as far as plot. I haven't watched much Dream SMP, but that's because it seems more RP focused. Both my brother and I really like the setup of Hermitcraft, where it's more build focused, but it has like a little bit of a RP in there. Nothing too plot heavy, but you know, they do have like wars or rebellions or, you know, different little things that happen. But oh, Bedrock does, but you gotta have a computer to make a proper server, and you have a phone and a potato, which I love. Please don't die me. That's fair. Yeah, we're still gonna have to figure out some of the spec stuff, but at least one of the people that is already interested, another person that we're planning on asking, they've both run servers before, like small scale ones, so we're gonna maybe talk to them about what sort of stuff we need to do to get that set up. But it sounds like my brother's interested in actually running the server, so I have that figured out. But okay, yeah, that makes sense. But again, you know, like I said, we're still getting things figured out, and we're still contacting people, and we're going to find out kind of what they want to do too. Because both my brother and I have said, you know, doing something that's RP heavy might be fun, but doing something that's, you know, more focused on everybody kind of building things together with a little bit of RP could be fun too. Depends on what people want to do. I guess we're kind of, my brother and I are both kind of those people in like D&D as well, where we'll kind of fill in the party composition a little bit. We'll kind of wait for everybody else to decide what classes they're playing, and then be like, okay, I'll play the DPS. Seems like we need DPS, or you know, we need a healer or something like that. There's also a plugin called Glacier that lets Bedrock folks join Java servers. Something about translating packets or whatever. Interesting. That sounds interesting. I haven't heard of that. There's so many bubbles on the surface here. My brother's very nice and let me have, he had a little spritzing bottle. Haha. And it works so much better than my other one already. And the reason that's just rubbing alcohol in there, and it helps break all the bubbles on the surface. There's some bubbles in the wings and stuff, but there's so many bubbles on the surface here. Alright, I'm going to move the bumblebee over to the lid here, now that it's, you know, nice and coated. And then we're going to fill this up with about halfway with the clear resin and then put the bumblebee in it because it's going to float. That's what happened with the other one. And we're going to try and, you know, have it so it floats to the middle, and then I will fill it up the rest of the way tomorrow with clear resin. So we'll go up to about the middle, and then we're going to add the bumblebee. Now, I guess the lid actually didn't make sense because I'm not going to be adding the lid. Oh well, that's fine. Let's put this in. Oop. No, don't stick your arms out like that. Oh no, did your arm come off? You might be okay. Oh no, did his arm come off? I might grab another bumblebee. I think his arm came off. It's hard to tell. Oh no, I think we may be okay. Alright, and then we're just going to have the bumblebee kind of floating on top in there, and then we'll do the other half tomorrow. Alright, perfect. I don't actually need that clear on there. This is just going to go off to the side. MQTB. Hey, at least it didn't feel it. Does that sort of thing inhibit curing at all? You know from the Ribinator videos that you've been watching that too much alcohol ink causes curing to fail in peach trees. No, it's the same sort of alcohol. If you really, if you add too much of anything to resin, it'll cause cure inhibition because the two parts won't be able to get to each other. It'll be so saturated with other things that the two parts, the resin and the hardener, won't be able to get to each other. It's water for the most part that seems to cause the most cure inhibition. But no, a little bit of alcohol, especially when I'm just putting it on the surface and it's going to evaporate, should be fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's best to avoid putting too much. Alright, black Petri gold foil. I'm going to put a little bit of gold shimmer as well. Alright, so we want 5 milliliters at most, probably not even that. Just slightly below 5. Alright. Where do I know that from? I'm trying to think if there was something else I was working with. I don't remember what material it was. It might have been the silicone, because there was something I was working with that was 2 parts, and the problem was that if it was too thin, if there was like an area where, it might have been the silicone, where if you had a spot where it was so thin that the silicone, like just the particles of the silicone, you know, you'd only have like, you know, 1 particle thick. You wouldn't be able to reach the other types. And it's just, yeah. But yeah, if you add too much of anything, it can cause some problems. Alright, there's our nice clear with some gold foil in there. We've got the gold foil a little bit smaller than before, which is nice. I think it's a much better size. Here, I'll show you. Slightly smaller flakes of gold foil and a little bit of gold shimmer. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but there's just a slight gold shimmer to it, which is nice. I'll put this in here. Alright, let's get this filled up again, and actually that's going to be far enough. I don't want to fill it quite all the way to the top because I do actually want to have enough room for me to drop this ink in here. What is my white? Oh, it's hard for me to find my white because it's all covered in other colors. do like 2 drops of black. Yes, this is the black Petri. Alright. I was second guessing myself for a second. I'm like, wait, this is the black Petri, right? Yes, it's the black Petri. Alright. I'm going to add a couple of drops of white. And again, I don't want to add too much. This is what part of the what you're saying is actually part of the reason I have difficulty with Petris, is because it's so hard to estimate how much is too much of the alcohol and how much is too little. So I don't know whether this is going to create way too few of the tendrils, or if it's going to make it so it doesn't cure properly. I guess maybe part of that comes with practice and doing it, you know, over and over again. We're going to let that sit for a minute. Let things sink, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the resin on top and to the lid. Next, clear resin, gold foil, black, and inky black swirl. So this one is just going to be, you know, clear with a little bit of gold foil. And again, a little bit less than 5 milliliters. And I didn't grab a thing to stir this. This one works. And this one's also going to have gold foil in it. It doesn't have that gold shimmer to it, but it's going to have, you know, some more interest to it just because we have those butterflies stuck to the sides. And I think maybe we'll leave the gold flakes maybe a little bit larger in this one. Not quite as small. And it'll fill in some of the space as well. And this one's going to have a black inky swirl in the middle of it, but we don't want it to be too big. We want it a little bit smaller than our last one that we did. So, let me find my, I just had that, there we go. That'll be good for that. Alright, let's add our clear with gold flakes. And again, we don't want to fill it up all the way to the top, and my reasoning for that is I want to have enough room here to be able to swirl the black ink around and not get resin everywhere. And there's still, you know, enough resin in there to then fill up the top. But let's swirl some black ink around in here. And I'm just going to take this black and I'm going to kind of dab it on the end of a little sticky here, a little stick. And then we're going to just kind of swirl that around in here. I'm going to do a little bit, but not quite as much as last time. I do kind of want it to, you know, look like it's kind of coming from the side. Is kind of the goal. Is this kind of more what you were thinking? Let's see if you can see it. It looks so dark there. It's kind of hard to see. It's much, it'd almost be easier for me to take a photo and show you. I see we've gotten resin on my, oh, it looks so dark there, it's so hard to show you. It looks so much darker on the screen. It looks like so much more black. It's not that much. I'm just going to call it good. I can't seem to show you. And let's black resin. All right. I think we'll call this one good. Let me finish off with a little bit more clear with gold flakes, and we're going to put some of that on the lid as well. Okay, let me set this on here so it's out of our way for now. And I'll put a little bit more resin on. Try to mix that black up so it's all the way to the kind of the top here. All right. And get that out of our way. I'll send you the photo after this so you can see. But it looks so much darker for some reason when I'm trying to show you on the screen here than it does in real life. It really does not look like a ton of black. Alright, so got that one. And add our little bit of clear here. And we'll put our lid onto our Petri. Not our lid, but we'll set it off to the side so it's out of our way. I think I've noticed that adding a little bit of resin to the top after I do the Petri helps. I feel like it helps kind of sandwich that all that pigment in there a little bit. Kind of helps it get surrounded by resin. Alright, let me get this out of our way. Moving on. Blue, that's what we're doing. So we want this one to be a nice dark blue. And again, this is only about 5, so we really only need about 2.5 of each. Really not much resin at all. And then this one's going to be our light blue, also about 2.5. Alright. I also didn't grab stir sticks for these, it looks like. Alright, we're going to put a drop of this blue in each one. And then in this one, we're also going to do a drop of white. That's going to be dark blue and it's going to be like a light blue. Okay, now let's mix these up. So let's get our dark blue all mixed up. So it's kind of satisfying, just that little tiny dot going to be like a dark color. So I'm just seeing if it needs a little bit more shimmer or not. Oh, it helps if I get all the mica off the bottom. That might help it with the shimmer a little bit. I'm like, why isn't it very shimmery? It's not very shimmery. Alright, let's get... There we go. That's got a pretty kind of blue iridescent and shimmer to it. It's always kind of hard to show the shimmer and stuff on camera and the iridescence. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see past all the bubbles and everything, but it has a nice little iridescent shimmer to it. Or a little bit of a nice mica shimmer to it, I mean. And then this one, we're going for like a lighter blue. Did you want the same... Alright. How light do we want to go on the blue, the light blue? I'm thinking maybe even lighter than this, or did you want them this close? They almost look... The nap was short, rain hit, and you got excited. I love rain. Rain's the best. I'm thinking maybe one more drop of white in here, just so that there's a little bit more... just so there's a little bit more contrasty, but what do you think, Beta? A little bit more contrast between the light and the dark blue? Yeah. Well, another drop of white and see how that looks. This white is pretty pigmented, so it might change it drastically. And again, we don't want to add so much that it... Oh, there we go. That's much better. That's more like a sky blue. Yeah, that's much better. Maybe one more drop of white and we'll go even lighter. Oops. Yeah, see what one drop of white did? I think we'll do one more, and I think that's going to be plenty. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice light blue. Ooh, that's pretty. This is very much a sky blue. Let's see if we can. It almost looks darker on camera again. I think the things look a little bit darker on camera, but it's very much a nice light blue. It's very, very light. Alright. So we're gonna go here. We were talking about doing silver foil into the middle, right? Were we still talking about doing that? Putting silver foil in the middle? Or did we decide against that? I have it put back up, but now I've forgotten. I'm gonna do kind of a swirl of these two. It's up to me. I don't know. I'm rethinking things now a little bit. Because that blue is actually quite opaque. And I'm wondering whether we're going to be able to even see it. I'm now wondering about the butterfly as well. I think the butterfly might end up... I'm going to have to think on that. I'm going to add some more of this clear. I'm going to want to put, I think, the lighter blue on the lid. And that's just because the iridescent flakes, when they get to the top, sometimes they get caught in between the lid and the actual top, and it kind of makes it like a rough spot when I'm trying to sand. And, you know, I'd like to avoid that if I can. Now I'm thinking about that butterfly. We'll add it. It might end up sinking to the bottom, and that might be a good thing. Just so that it shows up. Because I do think with this, with the super opaque blue, light blue here, it might not end up showing up. I'll put a little bit of this dark blue in the middle. Well, we'll see how this turns out, and then if it ends up being not quite what we want, then we can always, again, you get one more repour on this, so it's always an option. All right. Still have the butterfly there. It's off to the side, and I have it ready to go. All right, we're going to move on to our purple and gold. And so I'm going to do about 10 of this one, about 6 of that one, and that'll be the right amount, I think. This is really not the best way to measure things, just because I could be holding it funky, but I don't really need it to be super accurate, so it's fine. Let's go a little bit more than 5, maybe closer to 7.5. Alright, and this one we're going to do it about 10. I also need to add some purple to this. And again, this is going to be the same purple that always looks kind of not as vibrant until it's like, I don't know, it always looks more vibrant after it's cured. Yeah, that's a good amount. It always looks more vibrant after it's cured for some reason, which is fine. It just makes it a little bit difficult to, you know, judge how things are going to look. So I got 2 drops. Gold. And let's stir up our purple as well. Yeah, it looks almost like darker and more muted. Ooh, I like it with the, I think I added, you know, I thought I added too much holographic glitter, but I'm really liking the holographic glitter in the iridescent foil. So this is what I was talking about. I was talking about how I don't usually do like iridescent and holographic stuff together. You didn't really get to see that. I don't usually do like iridescent and holographic stuff together, but I really should more because it's just kind of fun. See, it looks kind of almost brownish there, but once it cures, it's nice bright purple. I don't know why it does that. We definitely need a little bit more though. Was there a certain design I was doing this? I don't think so. a little bit. I'm going like this so I can kind of see how dark it actually is. It's not a very dark purple, but I have, you know, my iridescent flakes and stuff in there. Alright, well, let that sit for a moment. How do I work with resin and not want to eat my creations? Well, you see, the difference is that I can smell it. Well, actually, I can't smell it at the moment because I have a respirator on. That's really what the respirator is for. It's to prevent me from eating it. Because if I didn't have the respirator on, it would all be going into my gullet. Please don't anyone take that seriously. Please don't eat resin. No, like, besides, it always looks much more appetizing once it's actually diced, because then they're crunchy, and I like crunchy things. But seriously though, it does have a smell to it. Like, you wouldn't want to eat resin if you could smell it while you were working with it. I can't smell it now because I have a respirator on, but I have worked without a respirator in the past before I realized how important it was. And it does have a smell to it. Like, there's definitely, I've noticed it more. Like, I'll notice like my clothes smell like resin sometimes. It's just like, ugh, seriously. Why? Get a little bit more of this gold. We need a little bit, tiny bit more. It's not quite as opaque as I wanted it. But it does look yummy, doesn't it? It looks like candy. I made, fool, I am slurping resin as we speak. Tastes delicious. Like that clear fluoride-less toothpaste that small children use for toothbrush trainings. More the fool I, yes. There we go, that's a little bit better. A little bit more of a shimmer, a lot more of that kind of opaque golden color. Perfect. I made soap that looked like, or gel icing for cake decorating. Please don't eat the toothpaste either. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, it's fluoride-less. Okay. But I do remember that gel icing for cake decorating, and now that stuff was fun. I don't know why. This stuff that makes me nostalgic for some reason. I feel like I remember every once in a while, like my mom would bake a cake, and then, like, we'd get to decorate it. That was always fun. What was I going to say? Oh, soap! I made soap that looked like cupcakes once. You'll have to find photos of those. But I definitely had a lot of people that threatened to eat the soap. And it wasn't even bosun. I just realized I have this face in the wrong direction, but that's okay. Oh. Alrighty. I might want the gold even more opaque than that. And my reasoning is that if I can see the purple behind it, then it was going to end up looking kind of brownish. So I want this to be opaque enough that I'm not going to just see the purple behind it. Because purple and yellow together makes brown. That's part of the reason they look so good together. You know, they're complementary colors. But you mix them together, they don't look good. There we go. That's a nice opaque gold. That's perfect, actually. There we go. It's so you can't see through it, but it has that golden shimmer to it. Perfect. All right, let me think about this. We didn't actually discuss a design for these, I don't think. So we're going to do kind of a similar thing with the blue, where we kind of swirl them together a little bit. I might want to wait, though. I'm going to wait a minute on this one, actually. I want it to be a little tiny bit thicker. And the reason for that is that I want it to be thick enough that the two colors don't mix together. I arrived to Liz's home and eat all her craft materials. But you arrived too late, and I've already eaten them all. Haha! This is just, okay, it's a little bit less than 5. A little bit less than 5. Perfect. Alright. I might actually, I might just have the perfect amount. I might be fine. Oh wait, I have about 5. We're good, we're good, we're good. Spy versus spy eating resin hours. Snort the mica powder. Oh gosh. Oh man. I love snorting rocks. I will snort it and taste cilantro. Yeehaw. Alright, we're going to add a little drop of white to this. Snort glitter, fight a god. Well, the thing is with, it's not, this, you got to keep in mind, mica is not even just glitter. It is literally ground up rocks. Mica is a type of rock, guys. Maybe I shouldn't have added the white. Now it's just kind of a light gray. Silver. It's like a silver. It's not quite a gunmetal anymore. More fool eye. I don't know. I mean, but we're going to be adding black ink and gold ink. So I feel like it's going to end up a little bit darker. So salt, what about it? Oh gosh. It's weird to me to think that you guys weren't like BFFs before hanging out in my chat. The singular. Hi, Angry Gamer. Alright, so we're going to do a drop of black ink and a drop of gold ink in this one. We have kind of a silver resin now. I've made it slightly lighter. Wait, did we want this one to be darker and that one to be lighter? Oh, we did, didn't we? Isn't that the plot of the Steven Universe show? It is, you're right. I mean, maybe not the plot, but it's at least a subplot. Alright, let's do a drop of black. Alright. And a drop of gold. And we're going to go ahead and pour this into our D8 mold. I think I added a little bit more of the black and gold, so this one might end up a little bit darker just because of that as well. I think this one's going to end up darker this time. I think it has more black alcohol ink. But see, that's the thing with the dirty pours is they always end up, you know, just a little bit different every time, which is fun, but, you know, makes them unpredictable. Alright, I set this one off to the side. Alright, and then let's move on to our next D8 dirty pour. Let's see. Yes, I did end up checking out Changeling the Lost. I thought it sounded really cool. There's like 3 different kind of things that interact and you get trapped in the Feywild and stuff. Yeah. Your theory is that dice just attract a crowd of similar people, which is to say gays of dubious gender and excellent taste. I mean, fair. Let's see, we're going to do this one. This one just needs a little tiny bit of resin. Dubious gender, yeah. Okay, that should be plenty. We're just, you know, we just want a little bit of this kind of gold color. We're going to kind of mix it into the black. We don't need a ton. And that's the white that then looks clear, or the white that then looks gold with the black background. And then this is going to be our gunmetal gray color. Yeah. I'm going to be very close, actually, on the amount for our last set. There's our gunmetal. And then we're going to put in, you know, a little bit less than 5 in here. Maybe not too much, actually. We're going to do this black, and then we're going to add our gunmetal and our gold to it. I think once we add our gunmetal and our gold, that's going to be enough. And hopefully we'll have just enough to do our other set as well. So this is going to be black. Just double check. Yep, black resin. There we go. Come out of the dropper there. And use this one black. And there's going to be another dirty pour, so I'm going to mix up this black. That's nice. Good black, good black. And then alright. Alright, so there's our black, and then we're going to add our gunmetal gray and our gold. Let's see. Beta says, my gender is a pendulum. One side is Mr. Howell moving castle, and the other is every stone butch and ripped black jeans and a tank top, and the needle is constantly swaying at full force back and forth. Valid, valid. I think I swing more Mr. Howell moving castle, but that's just me. Although on the other hand, I'm just like, I want to wear a fancy dress. I want to be, I want to wear a slinky red dress. Yes, please. I just like looking fancy. My gender is looking fancy. It's like, yes, I want a tuxedo and also a slinky red dress. I will take both, please. One of each. One of each. Alright. And there's our, I'll show you this in the cup before I pour it in as well, just so you can see what we're working with. So we're not adding any alcohol ink this time. Last time we added alcohol ink and it kind of took everything over, so we're just not going to do it this time. Liz's gender is decadence. Absolutely. Okay. So here is our gunmetal and our gold in there. And then we're going to pour it in. And hopefully these should swirl together quite nicely with the black. I think this one was supposed to be lighter, but oh well. I think it'll look nice with the black and the gunmetal, and that's kind of what we discussed. So, all right, there's that one. That one off the side. Let me show you the top. It actually looks really cool. Look at those, the black with the silver and the gold swirls in there. I think that's going to be nice. Actually, the lid might be even easier to see. Look at those swirls. Yeah. They almost disappear until they're at the right angle. Alright. There's that one. Alright, let me go back. So the rest of this, we're going to have a little bit that's going to be white. Let me see. I might have just enough, actually. I think I'm going to have just enough, guys. I think I've measured out, so we just have just enough. So we're going to do, how much of this do we want? So we're going to be doing 30. It looks like gold sheen obsidian. Ooh, yeah. It's about 30, so that's going to be about a little bit more than 5 here. I don't know that I want a third, but we're going to go a little bit more than 5. Maybe 7.5-ish. Okay, that should be plenty. And that's going to be the white, and then this is going to be the brown. Actually, I can just do the brown in there. I don't even need that. Okay. I think I have a hair in my mask again, and it's very itchy. That's always the... So I did Uber for a while. So, you know, I was spending like 3 or 4 hours at a time with a mask on. And I had like a cloth mask and stuff. delivering food during the pandemic. Well, we're still in the pandemic, but your gender's Regency jackets and rapiers. Also that. I feel like that falls under decadence. Give me a sword any day. I want a sword. Swords are cool. And then we're gonna add a little bit of white to this. My gender is stored in gold filigree. Valid. That is very valid. I feel like I can't argue with this. What was I saying? What was I saying? I was saying something about resin, wasn't I? What was I saying, guys? I don't remember now. Oh dear. This is a theme with me. I don't remember what I was just talking about before saying I wanted a sword. What was I talking about, guys? Someone's gonna have to remind me. Oh dear. So we're gonna mix this up so it's a nice white, and then that's going to be like a brown. So we're gonna add a drop of orange. One drop of orange. And mix this up. I'm going to use a different thing because this has been working well as a overall mixing stick. Okay. I also have bad memory, I'm sorry. Yeah, I won't hold it against you. I can't, I mean I can, I'll forget. What is this speck in here? What am I talking about? Alright. Man, now I can't remember. Oh well. Alright, so we've got, it's kind of a lightish orange. Let me add a little bit of blue. I'm not going to add full drop, I don't think. I'm going to add a little bit to my popsicle stick here. I'm going to show you. I added a drop like up there, and so it's going to fall down, and I'll just get a little bit of the blue in here. Not all of it, because it's hard to add a partial drop of blue. Because I want to make this brown. I'm getting there, okay. I think I'm going to need to add some more orange and some more blue. Or maybe a drop of purple, actually. So I'm going to add just of that blue. Another drop of orange. And maybe a drop of purple, which will kind of bring out the red a little bit. I'm trying to make kind of a coffee brown color. Let's mix that in. Still kind of orangish, I think. So actually, it's a little bit too red now, so maybe I do need to add a little bit more blue. Or a drop of yellow, but I want it to be nice and clear, so I want a drop of yellow. And not very much of it, 'cause I think this is the one that a little bit goes a long way. Alright, I'm back to a honey color actually, which is kind of funny. Add another drop of blue to make it a little bit more brown. And I may have just made it green. Oops, that was way too much. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear, guys. I seem to have made green. Way too much blue just fell in. Okay, just a second. We're gonna add a whole bunch of orange again. This is gonna be a problem. I can sense. I'm gonna be going back and forth between orange and blue. Finally, green. Yeah. Oh, finally. Yeah. I can never make green when I want to. No. No, I can make green. It's just. Oh, hey, actually, you know, we're getting closer to a coffee color. That's what I was going for. It's kind of dark. It's maybe a little bit darker than I was going for, but I think that'll be fine once it's actually in the dice. Cannot make green intentionally. It's a fake curse. Yeah, that sounds like it, yeah. Alright, let's see here. It might be, I don't know, it might still be a little bit too greenish, but I think I did actually make a brown now. That might actually be pretty close. Actually, I think this might be good. I think it's leaning towards the orange, which is what I want, but it's not like orange orange. I think it looks like coffee. I think I somehow stumbled onto the right color. Like accidentally. You're not using your reserve channeling to channel the Culture Hustle shipment. It's ordered. It's ordered. It's on its way. Maybe I should go check the mailbox. I don't think it was in today. I think it shipped like yesterday or the day before. But I should go check and see if the stuff from Culture Hustle's in. Oh, sending package vibes. I ordered some like bright, vibrant color pigments from Culture Hustle that we're gonna mess around with for some dice for Jen. But we're gonna see how well that works. They're powdered pigments, and we're gonna try and do a Petri with them. We're gonna see how that works. I have kind of an idea of how we might be able to get it to work, and if that doesn't work, a way to be able to fake it so that it looks like a Petri. All right, we've got our brown and our white. We're gonna make kind of a coffee creamer sort of look. That's the idea, anyways. So I want to add a little bit of brown to this, or they'll mix together. But let's go back to our purple and our gold at the moment, because I think this is thick enough now that they're not going to mix together too much, which is my concern. I'm going to put a little bit of the purple in. We've got our purple and our iridescent flakes, our holographic glitter. I'm going to put a little bit into each of our cavities here. Not too much, because then we're going to add some gold. Add enough that you can see that it's gold. I want to add enough that it looks like it's its own kind of solid section of a color. If I add too little, it'll just look like they're mixing. If I add too much, it'll just look like layers. I'm trying to avoid both of those things. I don't want it to look like layers. I don't want it to look like it's mixed. I want them to look like separate colors that are kind of swirled together a little bit. And I want to add enough also that we don't end up with a whole bunch of that you can see the gold through the purple too much, because if that happens, then again it'll just look like it's mixed. It's a balancing act, but it all comes down to personal preference to a certain extent. Let's fill this up the rest of the way with gold. That will be nice with gold. This one, let's just do a little bit over on this side. This one, a little bit of gold still in there, but let's fill this one up the rest of the way with purple. And this one just has iridescent flakes in it, which might make it a little bit difficult for sanding, but that's okay. Sometimes that's just going to happen. I do half purple, half gold at the top here. I'm trying to do them kind of so that, all the tops are a little bit different. It's kind of nice if they're all have the same colors and everything, but it looks just a little bit, slightly different. They don't all look exactly the same. Something fun about that. Actually, we want that last little bit there. Add a little bit more, and then we're going to do kind of the same thing here. Just kind of part gold and part purple on the top. And I want these to dome a little bit, but I also need to save a little bit for the lids here. Alright, and so we want to put a little bit on the lids. And I have this lined up so that I can tell where it's gold at the top and where it's purple, because I don't want to mix it too much. So this is kind of purple over in this corner. And I'm trying to kind of line up, where the purple is here is where the purple is on the lid. That way I don't, end up mixing the purple and the gold. Like I was saying, mixed they don't look the best, but swirled together, they look great. I really like purple and gold. Alright. honestly. I think it's this stick that's being really annoying. There we go. Easier to grab things from this side. Alright, let's see here. Let's get this last little bit of purple out of here. Yeah. Oh, actually, I probably should find a little keychain for this. I'm gonna grab just a little shape for this one. I think I don't have a ton of resin left here, so we're just gonna grab a little shape for this one for a keychain. I do like to send keychains. I don't know. Yeah, I probably should have made a little bit more resin, but I must say I wasn't thinking about a keychain at the time. Alright. We'll put our extra gold in here as well. We'll make a keychain one way or another. But let's put a little bit of gold. Not on my hand, but here. I just want a little bit so that, you know, we don't get air trapped and all that sort of fun stuff. You know, I want to make sure that there's enough extra resin at the top that when I put these in the pressure pot, there's enough extra resin to fill in all the little bubbles and stuff. Alright. There should be plenty of resin there. We're going to let that sit for a moment, let all the air rise to the surface. I'll put that onto our tray. In the meantime, we'll put any extra gold here into my little mold. And I'll probably end up, you know, filling this with, I don't know, maybe clear with some of the, like, big hollow stars in it. That might be kind of cool. I feel like that would match. You know, I just want it to kind of match. I'm using this as, I usually do like an extra keychain with commission orders, and I usually use this like a bump mold. So, you know, if I have a little bit of leftover resin, it goes into some sort of mold, and then I use that as a keychain. Because usually I try to make a little bit of extra resin. Part of that's just, you know, just in case. And part of it's because at this point I'm like, yeah, I'm making keychains for people. It's like, I'm just going to do that. I feel like it's nice. Now, this one, it's not full by any means, like, but I think maybe if I do clear with some of the, like, holographic stars in it, it'll still be kind of fun. So let me put this over on our tray as well. And then let's move on to our coffee dice. Alright. So what we're doing here, these should be a fairly quick and easy dice. Fairly quick and easy set of dice. We're going to fill these up most of the way with our brown. You know, it's just brown. And then we're going to pipe in some of our white, and we're going to try and make it look kind of like creamer swirls, sort of. So let's pour our brown in. And if it's a little bit messy, it's fine, because it's going to be coffee. Ooh, what was that? Just a second. There's like a piece of lint that just fell in. That's not what I want. Get out of there. I think it was like a piece of lint from my sweater. How strange. I want to get these, you know, not filling up all the way to the top. They're going to be filled up, you know, eventually with the white. I do want to get a fairly even amount into all of these. You know, I want them to look like they match and everything. Alright, a little bit more into the D12. Some more into our D10 here. This one definitely needs more. Alright. Excellent. We've still got quite a bit of our brown resin, so let's go back and add some more along the line. Add that to the D20. The D20 always takes, quite a bit of resin. To the end. Because I kind of want to get these like almost full up to the top. Like I said, we're going to be adding more. These D10s definitely need more. I think that's where this is going to go, is to the D10s and the D12 maybe. Alright, last little bit here. A little bit into the D20. A little bit into the D12. And I think we'll add our white. This is definitely getting, I think, thick enough for us to add the white. And I was waiting for this to get a little bit thicker so that when I add the white, it'll stay where I put it, but it's not too big of a deal. It moves around a little bit, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, that's pretty much cleaned out. Let's put this off to the side. So our white here, it's just kind of an opaque white, a little bit of shimmer to it. I always like adding, I like shimmer. Shimmer's just kind of fun. I'm going to take a pipette and we're going to fill it up with all of this white, and then we're going to kind of squeeze it into the molds and kind of create almost like little bubble pockets of the white. This is completely unrelated, but my brother got stuff to make bubble tea the other day, and so we tried that out and it was yummy. Now I want more of it. I might have to hit him up after this to make more bubble tea. Alright, it's still not quite full, but that's okay. So here, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to get down to the end. Let's go into this D4 first, and I'm going to kind of pipe it in so that we get kind of almost like little pockets of the white in here, hopefully. I'm just going to swirl a little bit, and that's going to be fine. We want it to kind of swirl and kind of look like it's falling down in there. Brothers are from Minecraft and bubble tea. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Let me get some more of this white in here. Yeah. It's so thick at this point that it's difficult to get it into the pipette. This is, I should have thought ahead on that. Now, while that is filling up, I have my, here it is, right in front of me. My new and improved little spritzing bottle that has some rubbing alcohol in it. I'm going to use that to just spritz the top of all of these, and should help break the surface tension and make bubbles pop. Oh, I'm still seeing bubbles there. Go away. Okay. Alright, there's some more in here, so let's, and then we're going to kind of swirl it around on top, because that's kind of what I wanted. I kind of wanted it to be swirled a little bit on top. I feel like that'll look kind of coffee creamer-ish as well. It's just a little bit swirled up. Alright, let's fill this up again. Yeah, I'm getting near the end of my work time. Whew. This is part of the reason that I usually do like maybe 3 sets of dice at a time. And I guess, I didn't really do like 3 sets of dice this time. I did kind of, 2 sets of dice and then like a bunch of singles. It is a set, but you know what I mean. And that actually does take more time because it takes more. I have to mix all of the things independently and that sort of stuff, and it takes time. But the reason that I usually do 3 sets at a time at most is because by the time I've gotten to the 3rd set, you know, I'm nearing the end of my work time. There's only a certain amount of time that the resin stays liquid for. You gotta let it cure for 24 hours, but you can kind of see it's getting very, very thick now. It was thick before, but it's getting like really thick now. Yeah. Doesn't really flow all that much. But everything else is looking good. I probably put the lids on everything else. Alright. Let's put some of this in here. Let's roll it up a little bit. Yeah, we're back to it being thick with multiple C's, yeah. So I'm trying to get all the resin in here that I can. Alright, we're gonna do this. We're gonna kind of add our last little bit, I think. Not with the pipette. I think it's just gonna be easier to try and just use a little stir stick or something for this. Which stir stick did I use for this though? Now I don't remember, so I'm gonna. This works fine. Add a little bit to the tops here. I'm gonna kind of, just some of the white here, and I think it'll end up fairly white, but hopefully it'll kind of look like it's ombre enough, almost between the brown and stuff. And we'll get these all set up, and then everything should be all set to go. I may have to put air in the air compressor, so we'll probably wrap things up once I've got all my lids on and everything. So we've got a couple more minutes. I gotta get everything all situated, but I'm gonna give you guys a heads up that we are almost done for tonight. Alright. Oh, actually, I've got a little bit of extra resin, so let's maybe make an extra D4. Make a couple of spare dice, something that's always useful. So I put all the spare black with the gold and the gunmetal into a D4 mold. I think I'll put the extra of the other one maybe into like, I don't know, D8 mold maybe. I have a spare D8 mold here that I use for that sort of stuff sometimes. Alright. We're just kind of winding things down. We're gonna get things filled in. I'm gonna use up all this little extra resin here. So let's see which ones we have got some extra in. Got extra in that one. The ones that I left the I left the sticks in. Actually, this one, wow. I'm just trying to use up all the little bit of extra resin that I have. You know, I don't want to waste it or anything. I can use this for some other interesting dice. They'll probably get added to my box of random dice that I have. Maybe I'll have to go through my box of random dice. So I have a box of like just random dice that's if you look at my page, they're like raw mystery sets. That's where I pull all of those from. It's my box of random dice. I mean, some of them are singles like this where I've just made them. Some of them are from sets where not all of the dice turned out. You know, one or two of them just didn't. They had big gaps in them or something. So I threw the other ones in there to, you know, just be like singles. But maybe I should go through those and actually like put together some sets. I mean, I have put together some sets for like the mystery ones, but like find some ones that like really matched well, really match well, and like polish them up and doing the sets. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, that one's pretty empty. Alright, I don't think I'm going to fill up this one the entire way. I'm actually going to leave the lid off of this D8 because it has like black and silver and gold, and it's not really full. And oops, let's not knock that over. I'll add another layer of something that matches it later. Oh, you'd be interested in mismatched sets? Let's do these blues together. Maybe like a D6, I think. Let's do like a D6. Oh, we already did the D6, so we're going to do an extra D6. You'd be interested. I'll have to look and see what I have, though. Like, I feel like I have some that are all like really pretty neutrals. It's like, these look pretty together. But I don't know that I have many in there that would be like good, like thematic sets. I have to look. I guess I'll check and see like how well the raw mystery sets do too. Like if people are interested in those, I've had a couple of sales of those, but like if people are interested in those, I'll leave them. But if not, I'll start sorting through them and figuring out some sets on my own. All right. Like I didn't have enough resin for this. I might have miscalculated. I might have just too little. Well, unfortunate. Alright, well, let me scrape out some other color. See if there's any more in one of these of just some other neutral. It's not really looking like it. this one maybe. Trying to get this one to have just enough that I can put the lid on it, and I think it'll actually work. At the moment, just a little bit too little resin. I mean, a little bit too little. It's getting very close though. There's actually a bit of this in here. Alright, I think it might be okay. It might be okay. There's enough left over of this white that we used for the coffee that I think we're going to have just enough to get over that little hill there. Yeah, alright, I think we're good. Alright, cool. Alright, we're good. So let's spray down these last few. Let's see, if you have a vague inkling as to what the set is, you go, let's see, for you it's just like, I'm trying this funny and boring thing called impulse control where I only let myself get dice for characters I'm playing, so I will actually use them. Impulse control could not be me, and not knowing what the set is fun and exciting and so tempting, but I cannot legally when you have an idea and you cannot make it, you pay other people to do so. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's kind of everything to a certain extent. I've often talked about like the price of convenience. Like there's certain things that it's like, I could do this, but it's so much more convenient to pay someone else to do it. Like food sometimes, like just getting like carry out, it's like, I could make, a burger, but also, there's a certain amount of convenience that comes with paying someone else to make me a burger. Alright, let's put some lids on here. I'll put the lids on our nice fate days. I think these are going to turn out pretty. Purple and gold here. We'll see how they turn out, but I think they're going to be pretty. We got our blue. Oh, the butterfly. We almost forgot the butterfly. To be fair, the raw sets that I have at the moment, like I have it set up so that like you can request certain themes or colors. Like that is a thing, but they are raw. The mystery sets at the moment are raw mystery sets, which means you'd have to like sand and ink them yourselves. But there's a certain amount of fun that comes from something being a little bit of a mystery. Oh, get out of their hair. Okay. Let's put this lid on. There's our blue. We'll see how this one turns out. I don't want to press that down too much, but I do want to make sure that the lid is sitting in the right spot. Alright, I think we're okay. Here is our Petri. We'll see how this one turns out. Hopefully there isn't too much ink or anything. Alright. Yeah. I shouldn't have mentioned that. Really shouldn't have mentioned that. But impulse control. Get some of the bubbles out of the way here. All right. All right, got that big bubble out of there. I think this one's all good. And we're gonna make sure that lid is in place. Looks like it is. And put this one on top of, like, here. Make sure that one stays down. And here's another little D6. This is our inky swirl one. I want to make sure that I don't have any air bubbles trapped here. I'll put this lid on. Again, I don't want to like press it down and have all the resin squish out, but I do want to make sure that it is all lined up correctly so that hopefully it will sink into the right spot. Here's one of our D8s. There's bubbles in the parts of the D8, which is what we're trying to prevent. See how these turn out. Alright, and these are, as I said, it's getting rather thick, so we're going to be wrapping up after I get all the lids on these. But and this one also doesn't have lids. We're going to put this one on top of some as well to help hold things down. This is our little like bonus D6 here that has all sorts of random things in it. Oh, there's a bubble there. I might let this one sit a moment. I slap at the bubbles. Sounds like a good plan. Sounds like a good plan. Alright, let's put this lid on this D4. I'm not as worried about, like, actually this one. I should make more things like that. I'm just thinking about my keys. So I have like keys on these so that I make sure that the things fall into the right spot. And that one's angled in such a way that it rests in the right spot without like I don't know, it doesn't get caught up or anything. Alright, come on. Alright, let me get some of the bubbles out of these lids here. Alright. Yeah, see that's why I'm adding it to the lids, is because like the zeros and stuff here, the resin doesn't like to fill in there. You end up with like bubbles. And so I gotta kind of add that almost manually, which is, you know, it's good for me to do that before I put the lids on, at which point, you know, the bubbles will just get caught. They'll just be caught. We don't want that. Alright. We are definitely at the end of our work time here, so let's make sure all these little spots are filled in and get these lids on and ready to go. Alright, let's see here. Alright, make sure the lids are in the right spot. Excellent. I have the DuckTales theme song stuck in my head now for some reason. Don't ask me how that happened. I do not know. Oof. It's all squishing out of that one. That is not what I want. I'll also put that on top there. Alright, I'm going to squeeze this in here. And I kind of put some of these, the ones that I'm worried are going to fall over, I kind of put them in between some of the other ones to hold them upright. It works out fairly well. Alright. almost done here. I'm still putting these on, I suppose. It takes a little bit of time for me to make sure that, you know, I've got everything on in the right orientation and everything. I'll just put this on top. But yeah, as we're finishing up here, ooh, I've got resin on the end. What should I work on Saturday? Maybe I should do something that's not resin on Saturday. That'd be nice to have a little bit of a break. I could do some more embroidery. I could do some more painting. That might be kind of fun. Do some more painting. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is there a certain arts and crafts project I should work on Saturday? I can always do resin still too, but you know, might be fun to mix it up a little bit. I have some polymer clay stuff I need to work on, but I figured I was just going to work on that by myself. I have a set of dice that I'm going to be making that's going to have some like self-portrait Corvid painting. Alright, fix the legs maybe. Start adding. I have to maybe put together some of the stuff that I want to start attaching to the canvas. That might be fun. It'd be good to get some more done on that one. Seconded. Alright. Well, let's plan for painting then on Saturday, I think. I'll have to double check my calendar that I don't already have something planned. But I think we could probably do some painting. That'll be nice. It's been a while since I've done some painting, and I really enjoy it. So let's plan for that. I think that'll be fun. I'll put some stuff together so we can, you know, get some more stuff done on that. Okay, and this is our last one. It has been decided that we shall work on the bird. But yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Alright, let's put this last one on. And that should be everything, I think, for tonight. I'm going to go throw these over into the pressure pot. But before then, I'm going to sign off for the night. So thank you everybody for stopping by and hanging out. It was good chatting. I hope everybody's having a good evening or morning or whatever time it is, but I'm going to call it. I do stream every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to come hang out again this Saturday, I'll be here same time, same place. And hopefully we can hang out then. So I'll see y'all later. Bye!